All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit about what's happening now in Argentina. So Trump, as you know, his whole thing is America first, America first. Well, guess what? We are nowhere near America first. We're nowhere in the realm of America first, because now what Trump is considering doing, and Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, was the first to bring this up, they want to do a massive multi-billion-dollar bailout for Argentina, led by Javier Milei, the clown anarcho-libertarian president who slashed government to the bone and destroyed his country. So if you're following along, it's America first, but by that they mean let's bomb Iran, let's bomb Venezuela and try to start a war with them, let's bomb Somalia, let's bomb Yemen, let's build concentration camps, let's bail out Argentina, and meanwhile, people here are going bankrupt from medical bills, but got to give billions to Argentina. So let me walk you through some of this here. What's happening in Argentina? In 24 hours, Argentina's stock market collapsed 10%, while the Argentine peso is now down 99% in 10 years. Jesus Christ. Today, the Trump administration offered a lifeline to Argentina, sending stocks surging plus 8%. So this is what's going on. Ron Filipkowski says, Trump and Vance keep telling us that they only care about the American economy. Yeah. Well, they're bailing out Argentina. They want to. So here's what Reuters writes about this now. Now notice, this is so dishonest. The headline is so dishonest. Trump says Argentina bailout unlikely. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday the United States would help Argentina, but he did not think a bailout was necessary. Guys, we're dealing with Trump here. So as he says shit like, this is not a bailout, it's not a bailout, he's going to fork over to them tens of billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars potentially. Trump spoke alongside Argentine President Javier Milei before the two leaders met on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly a day after Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and said all options were on the table for stabilizing the Latin American nation. Quote, we're going to help them. I don't think they need a bailout, Trump told reporters in New York. Really? Then what's the help that you're going to give them? What's the help that you're talking about? Money. That's what it is. Scott is working with their country so that they can get good debt and all of the things that you need to make Argentina great again, Trump added. He offered his endorsement for Milei's re-election bid so that his counterpart has another term to complete the job. Asked for more detail on the U.S. efforts, Trump said, we are giving the president of Argentina our full backing and endorsement. So that is fucking wild, bro. So as you guys know, Argentina is a fucking mess, bro. Argentina is a mess. So you have the poverty rate under Milei shot above 50%. I believe it was like 53% at one point. You had, at its worst moment, you had inflation was like 200% or more. Just absolutely out of this world. You even had, I think even now they say, oh, it's doing better. I think still like 30-something% inflation. So the economy is absolutely cooked. The other thing is, he's a true Kool-Aid drinking anarcho-libertarian freak. And so what that means is he wants to cut government to the bone. So to this point, he's already cut 24,000 government jobs. He wants to cut up to 70,000 government jobs. That's already a reduction of almost 10% of the workforce. You have people who are literally like dumpster diving for food in Argentina. This is what happens when you act like this. Also, he's already taken a bailout. He's taken an IMF bailout. That just happened. Shit, what was it, a month ago? Maybe 2 months ago? So he collapses the economy completely, goes and gets a bailout from the IMF, which, by the way, if you're a libertarian, one thing you should know for sure is they're supposed to be against like all fucking forms of bailouts. Like, it's supposed to be a fucking no-brainer. Of course I'm not taking a bailout. I'm against any form of a bailout. I want the private market to handle everything, and I want governments to butt the fuck out. But no, he ran hat in hand to the IMF. They bailed him out. Now he needs another fucking bailout from the U.S. Well, maybe you shouldn't have done fucking neoliberal shock doctrine bullshit and destroyed the government of Argentina, mass fired people, skyrocketed poverty, skyrocketed unemployment and inflation. Maybe you shouldn't have done that. Now, by the way, in just 2 months, Britain's preeminent historian has gone from cheerleading the Milei miracle to cheering the U.S. taxpayer bailout of Milei's collapse. So this guy, Niall Ferguson, he said, the world has never seen a government more radically libertarian than Javier Milei's. But the amazing thing is that it is working economically. Adam Smith would say, I told you so. The true miracle is that Milei shock therapy is working politically. And he wrote a whole fucking piece. On this. I love this guy trolling and said to him, hey, checking up on this. Yeah, any update on it? And so as Mark Ames pointed out here, this Niall Ferguson guy is retweeting the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent when he was announcing Argentina is a systemically important U.S. ally in Latin America, and the U.S. Treasury stands ready to do what is needed within its mandate to support Argentina. All options for stabilization are on the table. In other words, money printer go brrr. We're going to give you whatever the fuck you want. Tens of billions, hundreds of billions, it's whatever. Now remember, guys, the person running Argentina is the fucking clown of all clowns, the joke of all jokes. This guy literally campaigned wearing a fucking tight-ass superhero outfit. A tight superhero outfit. He went around with the chainsaw, talking about how he's gonna fucking slash government to the bone, bro. He's one of these people who's like totally emotionally unstable, even though he's a grown-ass man. He cries every 17 seconds like he's fucking Jordan Peterson, right? He goes on these long rants and has these screeds where he talks about how liberals and leftists are evil and they're scum and they're vermin and they're vile and they're terrible. And he's like a 14-year-old Reddit libertarian from like 2009. And he runs a country now. And oh, would you look at that? He ran it into the fucking ground right in front of our eyes. So, just disgusting. Just disgusting. America first, if they actually meant it, they would not be bombing Iran. They would not be bombing Venezuela. They would not be bombing Somalia and Yemen. They would not be threatening wars with Mexico and Greenland and Panama. They wouldn't be building concentration camps. And they wouldn't be doing this. They wouldn't be offering a bailout to the most ridiculous leader in the world. Just an absurd, pathetic person who really is not fit to fucking run a summer camp. Never mind this shit. There's literally no way in hell. But here we are. And because, why are they rushing in so quickly to bail this guy out? Because Javier Milei is the biggest Netanyahu ball coddler in the world and the biggest Trump fluffer in the world. And so they're like, well, we don't care. You can fuck up your country as bad as anything, and we'll bail you out because we like you. This is the way the new system works. If you want to get support, if you want to get gain help from the U.S. government, all you got to do is play the game, genuflect at the altar of King Joffrey, and you'll get it. And everybody else can go fuck themselves. Anybody else? And this is why Trump is trying to do lawfare against Letitia James, even though his own U.S. attorney said, I looked, boss, there's nothing there. She didn't commit a crime. He's like, I don't care. You're fired. I'm going to bring in somebody who will muck up fake crimes. This is where we're at. This guy fucking ran his country into the ground. He's going to get a bailout from the U.S., and he's going to run it into the ground further. For what? We got people going bankrupt from fucking medical bills here. We have homeless veterans here. And you're going to send billions of dollars to Argentina? Go fuck yourself. Jesus Christ, I hate these people, man. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.